Guys, Motherhood Monday here for you again. Coming at you with some real talk today. I really think it's important that we talk about what moms go through with pregnancy, labor, delivery, early postpartum. If you're a mom, you've probably seen this where during pregnancy you're going to the doctor all the time. People are worried about how you're feeling. It's really, for a lot of people, a supported time in your life. And then you have the baby, and it's like, all right, peace out, good luck, we'll see you in 6 weeks. That is getting a little bit better, but still, like, my follow-up appointment is in 6 weeks. And most times, you've either had a vaginal delivery, which oftentimes results in some sort of tear of the perineum, which requires stitches, which I think is a big deal. I do. Or you've had a massive abdominal surgery for C-section, which I think also is a big deal. But oftentimes that kind of gets pushed to the side when people check in with you after you had the baby. Oftentimes it's about how the baby's doing, not always how you physically, emotionally, or any aspect are doing and healing. And so I think it's important to talk real talk. I was later having babies than a lot of my friends, so I think I was set up with a little bit more knowledge, and also just having a best friend who's a pelvic floor therapist helped me know a little bit more about maybe some of the not as much fun sides of healing postpartum, but not everybody has that, and I still had a lot of surprises that I just didn't know. First one with my first son, who's 4 now, or almost 4, was the postpartum night sweats. Have y'all heard of these? Because it was awful. I had no idea. Lacey swears she told me. I apparently just didn't retain that information, because those first few nights, for the first few weeks, really, I would just wake up absolutely soaked with something. I at first didn't know. I thought maybe it was milk, and I had gotten milk just everywhere. But I mean, it was so much that it felt like I could like wring out my tank top. And it's a response to the hormone changes that happen after delivery, and sometimes your body responds with that. It's almost like you get pushed into menopause, like a little mini menopause, I think. Ask Lacey, she can tell you more details. And some people don't have it. Like this time I've had minimal with my second son. My first son, it was awful. I don't remember how long it lasted, but it was pretty uncomfortable, because then you sweat and you get cold, but you're hot. Like, it's just a whole mess. So that's one of the first things that really surprised me. The second thing that surprised me is that if you do have a vaginal delivery, which both of mine were vaginal, and I make big-headed babies, so this is our real talk for the day, I had pretty significant tearing, second-degree tearing both times, leading to lots of stitches and lots of pelvic floor dysfunction. And one of the things I think we're talking about more in the mom world is urinary incontinence, so leaking urine at any time is not normal. You've heard Lacey preach that, but especially postpartum, it happens, but it's not something you're stuck with because you've had a kid. But what we don't talk about is fecal incontinence. And oftentimes tearing goes posterior, and there will be issues with being able to hold in gas, being able to control bowel movements, things like that. Like, it's really unfun. Like, it's not something you talk about with your family or your girlfriends, because, I mean, it's private and uncomfortable, and nobody talks about it anyway, so it becomes that much more of a big deal. But it can be quite common. And FYI, if y'all follow Lacey, you know this, but find a pelvic health therapist, because that's not normal. And it's not something you're stuck with for forever, so don't be embarrassed by it, and go find a pelvic health therapist. Lacey can guide you in the right direction. If you're her local, check her out, and if not, we can send you some links on where to find somebody where you are. The third thing, which is a little bit more funny, that I didn't know, and I think I remember Lacey telling me about this, like once you get out of the shower and you're just like dripping and shooting milk everywhere, and I kind of giggled it off. But if you're breastfeeding and your milk comes in, when you get a letdown, which can happen when you're feeding the baby, obviously, but it can happen at other times, especially as your milk is kind of regulating, those bad boys can shoot milk across the room. And it's kind of funny and kind of unfun, because you'll finish your shower, you're finally clean, you got away from the baby long enough to shower, and then you're drenched in milk already, and you have that kind of sweet smell of milk on you, even though you literally just got out of the shower. But it's pretty impressive, the distance that your boobs can shoot that milk out. So here's your little real talk FYI from me to you. Happy Motherhood Monday. More stuff coming at you in another week or so.